Hello everyone and welcome back to STW Sports. And today I'm going to be predicting the Sky Bet League 2 table 2021-2022. Of course, I also did this last season and got, I think it was half out of 24 because I had Forest Green to get to the playoffs and win them. They did get to the playoffs in 6th position as I predicted, but they didn't win it. So I didn't do so well, but look, my knowledge has got a lot better in 1 year, so fingers crossed I actually get some more right this time around. Anyway, enough waffle, I'm going to crack on with it. Just want to say before the video does begin though, fantastic to see supporters back in stadiums as well. Really excited for that this season. Everyone who supports a League 2 club, hope they thoroughly enjoy going to watch their team again. Anyway, in 24th position, I've put Sutton United. I kind of feel bad for doing this, but I just don't see Sutton cutting it in League 2. I mean, I said the same about Barrow last season, and they proved me wrong and stayed up, so I might be wrong, but I don't know. I know Sutton won the National League last year, and they had a very good season, but I just don't see them doing it in League 2, unfortunately. Yeah, and I do think they will finish bottom of the table. I think they'll have a lot of fight in them, and they'll do well enough, but I just don't see them making that step up, unfortunately. In 23rd position, I've gone for Scunthorpe United. Now, Scunthorpe ended last season absolutely terribly, and this is the main reason why I'm having them to go down. They're just a club in decline, Scunthorpe. It's a real shame to see. I do like Scunthorpe, so, you know, they came close to getting promoted to the Championship a few years ago, I think, as well. So it's a shame to see them, you know, doing this badly at the moment, but I just don't think their season's going to be good for them. I really think they're going to struggle, and yeah, I'm going to have them to get that second and final relegation place, unfortunately. Hate to say it, but I think time's looking pretty difficult right now for Scunny. In 22nd position, I've put Stevenage. Now, fair play to Alex Ravel, you know, he did a fantastic job last season. If you offered a Stevenage fan 14th place at the beginning, they'd certainly have taken it. I just think this season, though, it's not really going to last. I think they'll stay up, but I think just. I said they'd finish this place last season as well, so see what happens. But yeah, I think they'll struggle, but I do think they'll just about survive. But look, I don't want to, you know, I think Alex Ravel's done a fantastic job, really, so I don't want to, like, say they're just going to drop off like that, but I just don't see them maintaining that standard from last season, unfortunately. So yeah, they'll survive, but only just. In 21st position, I've gone for the second newly promoted club, Hartlepool United. Now, yes, Hartlepool have lost a couple of players over the summer, I understand, and of course, as well, they've had a pretty bad pre-season form as well, from what I've seen. So they're not coming into the new season in the best, you know, way. But I think they'll do it just because obviously they've got this story of very nearly going out of business a few years ago to all of a sudden, you know, back in the Football League. So I think that will just about get them to survival. But I must say they're not in the best way coming up, but things can change throughout the season, and I think they'll just about do it at Hartlepool. And it's great to see them back in the Football League as well. In 20th position, I've put Walsall. Now, Walsall I'm predicting Walsall to have a very similar season to what they had last season. You know, Walsall drew a lot of games last season. That was their main issue. They never lost loads, but they just drew far too many. Really struggled after the departure of Darryl Clark as well, to be fair to them. But yeah, I think that this season they'll be okay, but I'm not expecting them to do anything convincing. I'm just going to go for a standard 20th place finish without doing anything spectacular. But yeah, they'll survive quite comfortably though. In 19th position, I've put Barrow. Now, the main reason I'm saying Barrow will finish here is that Mark Cooper's now there. I like Mark Cooper. I mean, yeah, at Forest Green at the end, he did tail off a little bit, but he still had them in a playoff place, and I think he deserves great credit for the job he did, and I think he's a great appointment at Barrow. I was very surprised when they managed to get him, but fair play to him, and I think Barrow are going to have an alright season. Nothing special. I mean, they'll stay up like last season, and I think if you offer Barrow 2 years in a row survival, they'll certainly take it. I don't think they'll do much more than what they've already done. They have, of course, lost Scott Quigley as well, which is a big blow for them, but I think they'll be okay, though. I'm going to say 19th for Barrow. In 18th position, I've put Oldham Athletic. Now, Oldham last season were a very entertaining team to watch. I mean, I think they were like at one point the top goal scorers in the league, but they also conceded the most. So Oldham are just that sort of entertaining team, but unfortunately, I don't see that being the case this time around. I think Oldham will be okay, but I do think they will struggle. So yeah, like I say, I just think they've lost Colin McAlely as well, of course, to Salford. So I think, yeah, they'll be all right, but I'm not expecting much from Oldham. Not as much as maybe last season, even though they didn't even have a great season last season, but they were just very entertaining. But yeah, I'm going to say 18th. In 17th position, I've put Swindon Town. Now, this is going to surprise a lot of people, and I'm very sorry if I've offended any Swindon fan. The main reason I say this, though, is that I just think there's going to be a huge transitional season for them. I don't think they'll really be in any sort of relegation battle. I don't think they'll do Southend levels of bad, who got relegated, of course, and then double dips. But I still don't think they're going to do great, Swindon. I do think they're going to have a bit of a transition. Their manager's very inexperienced. They had so many problems off the pitch, which they've only just recovered from. Yeah, I think they'll be okay, but I'm not expecting a great season. 17th in my opinion. In 16th place, I've put Crawley Town. Again, Crawley last season were very hit and miss, to be honest. One of the most inconsistent teams in the league. I'm expecting that again, really. I don't think they'll do anything special. Yeah, I'm going to say 16th. Nothing to shout about, but yeah, that's what I think. Mid-table again. In 15th place, I've put Carlisle United. Now, to be fair to Carlisle, they were doing very well last season. Around Christmas time, it looked like they were going to maybe win it, but all of a sudden they got loads of COVID issues, of course, and they just fell that many games behind that I think they actually went down to about 12th, and they actually stayed there for the majority of the season, which was quite crazy, really. But yeah, I think Carlisle won't do as well this season, though. I think they'll do all right, but yeah, I'm going to go for a mid-table, solid mid-table finish. Not quite the heights of maybe the start of last season that they hit, but yeah, I'm going to say Carlisle in 15th. But I will say they've had a fantastic pre-season, Carlisle. They've scored about 22 goals overall, so they're certainly doing well there, but I'm just not really expecting them to do as well now. In 14th place, I've put Colchester United. Of course, Colchester had a horrible season last time out. It was actually quite sad to see them do so badly after the playoffs the year before, but yeah, I think they'll recover a bit this year. Hayden Mullins is quite inexperienced, but he did get them out of trouble last season, to be fair to him. I think, 14th's about right, mid-table, steady season. I don't think they'll, make a massive jump to the playoffs, but they could though, you never know, but I'm going to say, yeah, 14th place. In 13th place, I've put Northampton Town, another team relegated from League One last season, but I don't know why with Northampton Town. I think obviously they've hired John Brady, I believe, as well to be their head coach. Obviously, he was the youth manager before. Yeah, I don't know. I think that I'm going to say they won't do great. Mid-table for me is probably about right. I might get this wrong. I don't think Northampton are in a terrible situation coming into the new season, but I don't know. I just don't fancy them to push for promotion for some reason. I could be horribly wrong, but yeah, I'm going to say 13th. In 12th place, I've actually gone for Harrogate Town. Now, most people will be saying this is too high for them, but I don't know. Harrogate had a good season last season, though. I mean, they had the dips in form at times, but overall, it was a successful season, and I just think they're going to continue that momentum, I'm going to say 12th place, bang in mid-table, and, fair play. I really like Harrogate. They've got a great story behind them, and Simon Weaver, of course, won't put anything past him doing anything at the club right now because he is a very good manager, and yeah, I think they're going to have a solid mid-table season, which Harrogate fans will certainly take. In 11th place, I've put Mansfield Town. I do like Mansfield Town. They're always a club who threaten to do things, but I think mid-table, of course, they do have Clough in charge as well, who came in last season and kind of steadied them a little bit, but never really did great either. So I think 11th, mid-table-ish. I don't think they'll do anything spectacular, but yeah, I'm going to say solid 11th for them. In 10th place, I've put Forest Green Rovers. I don't know if people are going to agree or disagree with this, really. I'm not expecting Forest Green to have as good a season. Unfortunately, beaten, of course, in the playoff semi-final last season, that thrilling tie with Newport. I think 10th. I think they'll push for the playoffs most season, but I just think they'll fall off at the end. Rob Edwards, of course, in charge as well. Quite an inexperienced coach. Yeah, I'm gonna say 10th. I think they'll just fall short of the playoff. In 9th place, I've put Rochdale. Now, this one is probably going to be controversial among many people. I do like Rochdale, don't get me wrong, and I do think, obviously, they have just come down from League Two, and they're not in a bad way by any means, but I just don't think they're going to do it. I mean, I'm always like for teams who go down to not go straight back up, so that's probably why I've had so many teams, near enough all the teams, to not bounce straight back at this rate. But yeah, I'm going to say Rochdale 9th. I think they'll do okay, push for the playoffs, but I'm going to say they'll just fall short as well. In 8th place, I've put Newport County. I guess Newport fans probably, won't like 8th, but I think, I think they'll be up there in the race all season, but I just think, like I predicted last season, they'll just fall short. That wasn't the case, of course, last season. They did get to the playoff final. Yeah, I think they'll just miss out, though. I think they'll narrowly miss out on the playoffs, which Newport fans will not like to hear, but I've got to put someone there, and unfortunately, I'm going to have to go with Newport. In 7th place, so the very first place in the playoffs, I've put Bristol Rovers. A team who did come down, of course, from League One last season, finishing bottom of the table. I still think they'll do okay. I mean, as much as Joey Barton, of course, does have his flaws, he is a good manager. He did get Fleetwood to the playoffs in League One just a couple of seasons ago, so he is a good manager. And obviously, I don't know if he's going to last there the whole season with everything going on. But yeah, I'm going to say they'll just get the playoffs. Whether I think they'll win it or not, I'll tell you in a moment. But yeah, they'll just get the playoffs. In 6th position, I've put Tranmere Rovers. I do, I think Tranmere, that's a position I can see them finishing 6th. I think obviously last season had them to win the league, which didn't happen, but they do of course have Mickey Mellon back. I don't know if that's going to work or not. I'm never really for teams rehiring managers, but I can understand it with Mellon, to be fair. I do think he's back, of course, got them promoted back in 2019. So yeah, I'm going to say he'll come in. They'll get the playoff place. I'm not sure whether they'll win it. 5th place, I've put Salford City. Now, Salford are everyone's favourites this season. The only reason I'm not having them to get automatic promotion, though, is because of their inexperience. Every season, well, the last couple of seasons they've been in the league, I've always said Salford will go up easily, and it never really seems to happen. Obviously, last season they had a bit of a weird season with managers and everything like that. So many managers. I think they'll finish 5th. I think they'll do well enough. They'll get playoffs, but yeah, I don't think they'll get automatics for some reason. Even though a lot of people are backing it, I think they'll just miss out on that. In 4th place, I've put Exeter City. I have put Exeter to get in the playoffs. Their fans are probably not wanting this. They probably want them, of course, to get automatics, understandably so, because I don't know if they can take any more playoff heartbreak. But though, I have had Exeter to win the playoffs as well. I mean, look, Exeter are going to go up eventually. They're actually entering their 10th year, I think, now in League 2. So they last got relegated from League 1 in 2012. So near enough their 10th straight season. So I think, the light's going to shine on them this time. And I think they will do it. And I'm going to have them to beat Tranmere Rovers in the final as well. That will be a great final. And obviously Tranmere tasted victory a couple of years ago against Newport. So I'm going to have Exeter to finally avenge all their bad luck in the playoffs in the last few years. So yeah, I'm going to say Exeter to win the playoffs, the first team I've had to get promoted to League 1. In 3rd place, I've put Leyton Orient. Now, a lot of people won't agree with this, but I just like the look of Leyton Orient. I don't know why. Obviously, Kenny Jackett's in charge. I think that's a fantastic appointment for League 2. Yeah, he always fell short with Portsmouth, but that was a league above, and I think for League 2, he's certainly got it in him to get them promoted. And yeah, big fan of Kenny Jackett, and I do think Leyton Orient will get automatics, which would be great considering where they were a few years ago. 2nd place, I've gone for Port Vale. Again, just for the way they ended last season. I think they ended last season absolutely fantastic under Darrell Clarke. So yeah, I'm going to say they'll do it. 2nd place, and they'll get promoted to League 1 automatically. I mean, it's a bit of a brave one, and it could go horribly wrong. A lot of people said Port Vale would win it last season, I think, as well. So that kind of did go wrong. But I've got a good feeling about them this season for me. They'll be back in League 1 come May. 1st place, I've gone for Bradford City. Now, everyone who knows me closely will be thinking this is a bit biased, but I can tell you it is not. I actually think Bradford are building something very impressive under Derek Adams right now. Obviously, Derek Adams got Morecambe promoted last season, did a fantastic job there. Look at their pre-season as well. They beat the likes of Blackburn Rovers, Accrington Stanley and Doncaster Rovers. I just think they're building something great at Bradford, and I think they've really got it in them this season to get promoted as champions. I think Bradford, yeah, I really think they're going to have a great season. So yeah, I'm going to say Bradford to win Sky Bet League 2. Just a word on my Golden Boot winner. I'm going to go with Matt J. Matt J had a fantastic season for Exeter last season. I think he's only going to get better. Time's very much on his side. He's only in his mid-20s as well, so I really think he's going to have an impressive season at Exeter. Yeah, I'm going to say he will win the Golden Boot with 27 goals. Why not? 27. Not quite Paul Mullin last season, but I do think he'll certainly get a lot of goals. So that is a wrap on my Sky Bet League 2 predictions anyway. Thank you very much for watching the video. Please like, share and subscribe to STW Sports. And let me know in the comments below if you disagree with any of these. You probably do, but still, please let me know in the comments below. And of course, I'll be back tomorrow with my Sky Bet League 1 predictions. Thank you again for watching, everyone, and I will see you soon.